Hey guys, so guys, this is a new what if that I actually wanted to do for a couple days. So guys, if you all know, if you've seen my last videos, you do know I'm going to be uploading a lot during spring break. So you should know that by now. But during the weekend or Sunday, I'm going to be uploading quite a lot of things. But not, a lot. So I probably will be uploading 2 more what ifs, and then I'm going to be, dormant until spring break. So, yeah. But don't be, counting on me not uploading until spring break, because I will be uploading a little bit more. So yeah, so I'm gonna be uploading a lot of what ifs on, the weekend. As you guys should already know by now, I upload a lot of videos during the weekend at nighttime. So basically, at nighttime is the quietest time to do my what ifs, and it's the quietest time to play, relaxing jazz for my what ifs. So yeah, guys. So guys, I should say this already. I do not own any of the music that I show in any of my videos, and I don't own any of the artwork in any of my videos I show. So yeah, guys. But I am working on making a little bit of artwork for my what ifs, but I mainly won't really be doing that. But yeah. So basically, guys, this is what if Deku was a king. Now, guys, this is one what if that I wanted to do for a pretty long time. So guys, basically Deku is going to be, well, a king. Okay, so basically I think I only made about 3 what ifs featuring Deku having any type of siblings. I did do what if Deku was a Todoroki / Iceman part 2 later this, night. I'm uploading this video or recording this video, and I've also uploaded what if Deku was a vampire and had a twin brother. But for now, this is the third what if. Yeah, this is the third what if that I wanted to do. This is what if Deku, well, was a king. No, I did a what if like this before, but it was a request, and the requester didn't really give me enough to, you know, write off or you know, do the story off of. But yeah, so guys, basically, Deku is going to be a king. Now, Deku's actually going to have a couple other brothers. Now, Deku's going to be a quintuplet. Don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, I think I pronounced it pretty well. Now, Deku's going to have um, Deku will have 4 brothers. But guys, if you guys think Deku should only be a twin or a yeah, I'm gonna make Deku a quintuplet, but if you guys want Deku to have a 4th brother, I can do that. So yeah, so guys, basically, this is what Deku was a king. Now, this isn't gonna go off of a lot of things doing My Hero Academia, but they are going to go to their own island, and they're gonna be the rulers of that, country, or whatever it is. So basically, Deku, grows up in Japan all the same. Deku grows up in Japan, and also Deku does grow up a little bit in America knowing English, and also Deku does learn a little bit of Hawaii from his mother. So basically, Deku, well, is born knowing that he has about, two. Deku was born basically having a twin brother. Now Deku will eventually come across his 3rd brother later on in the episode. But yeah, so Deku basically will have a twin brother. Now Deku's twin brother will be, let's say, well, it won't be like a twin. It just be not identical twins, just twins. So basically, Deku is going to be the younger brother because he's going to be born about 2 minutes after his twin brother was born. His twin brother is basically Bakugo. Now his twin brother is basically Bakugo. It's basically just Bakugo, but with green hair. So nah, scratch that. It's basically just Bakugo with green eyes. So Deku, and Bakugo grow up together, play together, and pretty much make a very brotherly bond. Now, basically, Bakugo and Deku grow up being pretty strong, but also, wishing that they had something else, to them. Basically, Deku, you know, is going to, pretty much fantasize about being a king or being some sort of royalty. But one day, Deku goes home, seeing that his brother called him, saying that, he had to hurry up. Deku was a couple of blocks away from his house. Deku ran there immediately and opened the door, seeing that it was some sort of guards or some sort of, people with some sort of energy stabs. Deku was looking at them, seeing that this is weird and all, pretty much saying, "What you gonna do?" And pretty much, pinning up his paws, saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" Pretty much, trying to fight them. Because in this universe, Deku and Bakugo actually do have quirks. Now Bakugo still has his explosion quirk, but the explosions are now red instead of orange. Now, with Deku's quirk is called, what should I call it? It's called Grow, or pretty much Deku's quirk is called Probability. Now, Deku can control probability manipulation, kind of like how Domino's powers work. So basically, Deku can control probability, not making him, he's still able to die, but Deku will be, it'll be pretty hard to kill Deku. Now, Deku's probability is off sometimes, but sometimes Deku gets perfect scores, even by just guessing on a test, or just, doing heads or tails probability. Games that based off a probability, Deku will always win on them. Deku can also shift by probability to even a point of people, their guns just jamming in random situations when Deku's about to get shot. Or probability of Deku dodging a bullet. So it's pretty good. Deku has a pretty strong probability manipulation, but it's off sometimes, making Deku able to get hit sometimes. So Deku pretty much picks up his fist and pretty much grabbing, one of those, what was it? Those racks that hold those things for the fireplace. Deku picks up the pointy one and pretty much, holds it like a sword, saying that you better get out of my house before I stab you guys. Pretty much Deku's dad and mom step into the room, saying that don't do anything, Deku. And pretty much Deku lays down the thing, saying that who are these guys? So basically they explain that Deku and Bakugo are royalty, and they're basically destined to go to the kingdom of Salvatore. Basically, they confuse and saying that this is the island of Salvatore, or the city of Salvatore, a skyland island based off of magical creatures and fantasy. Pretty much, things that would pretty much make anybody incredibly excited. So Deku sees this as an opportunity, pretty much saying that this is what I always dreamed of. Bakugo and Deku have a hug each other, saying that this is awesome. Pretty much, they do, a little bit of a rearranging, and Deku and Bakugo are sent there to become the kings of that, island. Now, the they don't know who is the older brother. Pretty much, they don't know, or Deku's parents forgot that, pretty much they don't know that who is the older sibling at this point, because their births were pretty secretive. Now, what I told you, Deku was a younger brother, that is true, but no one knows about that because their births were secret. So that's how no one other than Deku, that's how no one other than, Deku's parents knew that Deku and Bakugo were royalty. Now, basically, they're kings now. So, Deku and Bakugo pretty much, do a high five, pretty much saying that it's awesome, and pretty much getting their stuff packed up. Now, now they arrive to Salvatore City, and pretty much they got there by some sort of, portal. Now, Salvatore City is built off of magic and wonder. Pretty much, having a great place, floating islands, cities, and all sorts of towns in the, city. Now, basically, this flying island is about, is basically in the mystical world linked to Earth, to the Quark world. So basically, Deku sees this as an opportunity and pretty much walking into there with Bakugo. They hope they have their stuff and their luggage, pretty much saying this is awesome and I'm gonna be royalty, I don't have to do anything anymore. So Bakugo, pretty much gets really cocky, saying that we're royalty. Yes. Now basically Deku and Bakugo aren't gonna be going into UA because, they're kings. And they won't really, they're actually in this universe, they don't really want to be heroes anymore. So him and Deku, go into their room, or their royal room. They walk into the entrance, and this is one of the entrances. This was the fire room of the castle, where most of the fire magic and fire swords and pretty much forged things or forged it. So they were toured into other parts of the castle, eventually getting to their throne rooms. So guys, basically, I had to do a time skip because something happened. But yeah, so basically, guys, um, this is what if Deku. Sorry, so this I had to do a time skip. Now I'm gonna be continuing. Now they were toured through the whole entire castle, and eventually they found their throne room, the room that they would share. Now basically it was a couple other throne rooms and pretty much libraries in the castle, because the castle was huge. And it also had floating rooms that would occasionally float around the kingdom. So yeah, so basically Deku and his brother made themselves at home, packing up their stuff. Now basically, um, yeah, so basically they're going to eventually learn magic on this world, and it's also other beings on this world like werewolves. No, not really werewolves. It's only magical beings like witches, warlocks, you know, fairies, stuff like that. Werewolves and vampires are pretty much really hard to come by in this world, but they still exist though. So basically, Deku and his brother pretty much make themselves at home pretty fast. And pretty much they get anything they want. Literally anything from the, magical world or the real world. Getting pretty much any food that they wanted before but they couldn't afford. So pretty much they had like a magical portal in their room that they could pretty much say any name into it. A name of a person or item, and it would just pretty much pop out of the portal, and they can send it back to the portal in a trash bin or in the place that they originally grabbed it from. So basically, yeah. So basically, any item they grabbed from that item, something would take the place as that item, like money if they took some food, or nothing if they took or if they asked a person to come through the portal. So yeah, so basically Deku and his brother got pretty at home, and we're really excited. Basically, so guys, basically Deku, and his brother made it home, going through the castle, and basically making themselves at home. But they were scouring around, and they saw a huge, you know, some sort of, castle-like statue, and pretty much a guard there that is going to be a main character named, let's say, a guard there that was, let's say, a doppelganger of Azawa, pretty much walked towards them and says, "So, you found your father's statue." And basically, they didn't believe that because their father, when they were the father that raised them, was actually their adopted father, and their mother was actually their aunt. Now, basically, they were explaining that the people that are raising them were um their aunt and, well, adopted father. Now, the father was actually royalty on the island, but the whatchamacallit, their aunt was actually the sister of their mother. Now, basically, they were really, pretty much excited because, like, their parents were royalty, because they didn't really know at that point how they were royalty. So basically, they were ready, and basically they were told about the island's, rules, and the cities and the other, you know, kingdoms on the city or the island. Now, basically, you were, pretty enhanced, but Deku and Bakugo didn't really want to read through it because they were kind of cocky and also kind of brass when they were on Earth. Basically, they throw away the rulebook saying that, why we need that? And pretty much, they start messing around. Doing some trampoline stuff, pretty much, acting like, what a normal person would be in a situation of being a freaking king, bro. Like, come on. They have their own pool and their indoor, pretty much throne room and ballroom. And pretty much, they just really like this. So pretty much, they make themselves at home, walking around the castle, walking into an ice room. Pretty much a room that belonged to one of their one of their pretty much ancestors that was an ice witch. Pretty much looking around, looking at all these, pretty much, well, rituals or items, and pretty much, walking around, seeing all these, items and ruins and all sorts of, magical, you know, tools that were left to them because now they're the kings. Now, Deku picked up an ice sword that could shoot out ice beams, pretty much saying that, look, this is cool, pretty much waving it around. Bakugo said to put that down, and Deku just threw it on the bed. Didn't really do anything because the bed was, frozen. Now, basically, their pretty much relative cast an ice spell on this room, keeping everything in this room, and casting the ice, not letting it grow old and wither. Now, basically, Deku grabbed his brother, saying that we have to get out of here and look at other rooms. They went in another room, and this was their mother's and father's, well, secret room. Now, basically, they walked in here, and Ozawa, or the doppelganger of Ozawa, one of the guards, saying that I was your father's best friend, and also, this was their, uh, fun time room. Deku and his brother had a couple minutes of, concepting this, and pretty much they say, oh my god, and pretty much seeing that Deku was on the bed, and he got off of it immediately and started sprinting out of the room. They closed the door and said that we'll never go back in that room. So basically, they went into another room that was an ice room, again, that was, mainly focused on giving them, you know, pretty much this was an ice room that was used to basically summon ice magic or to learn ice magic. So, yeah. They went in a room that was mainly focused on learning or teaching people or kings or queens to pretty much learn and develop magic, like growing magic or, you know, jungle magic. And also, this was the dungeon. They went over there, looked at the dungeon, saying this looks pretty cool. Seeing that as acid, pretty much fountains in there. And they stumbled across they stumbled across the throne room, seeing that it was also so cool and stuff. So they walked into the throne room, sitting on the throne, and they saw that it was two thrones there because, there's two kings. So pretty much they sit down on both of their thrones, saying that this is awesome. Pretty much, having a pretty good understanding. Now, basically, they, pretty much step into the whole entire realm of magic when one of the wizards or the wizard teachers that teach a couple of years, a couple of, lineage of, kings and queens, because that wizard was none other than whatchamacallit, I don't know what his name was. It was, it was King Arthur's wizard. It was King Arthur's wizard. It was his best friend. Don't know his name. I'll probably remember it, but I don't know his name. But correct me, guys, in the comments. Pretty much, he explains to them what they're going to teach them and saying that, we're going to go through a couple tasks, seeing what magic you're compatible with. Basically, they get told to, go into the throne room, and pretty much, they do know, though Castle does know about quirks, knowing that, humans are a lot more stronger than they were a couple thousand years ago. Now, basically, Deku, is compatible. They do a little ritual, and they pretty much give Deku a book, and the book puts Deku through a couple of mind games, looking into Deku's past and his emotions, pretty much saying that, what do you want to be? Deku breaking down and saying that, he wants to be a hero. Out of nowhere, pretty much a couple of magic spells burst Deku out of the consciousness of the book, and Deku, looks up and seeing that the wizard saying that, well, we found out what magic you're compatible with. Now, Deku was compatible with about 3 types of magic. Deku was compatible with speed magic, fire magic, and also jungle magic. So Deku is compatible with that type of magic. Now they look at the Bakugo's magic, and Bakugo pretty much, well, is compatible with fire magic like Deku, compatible with pretty much explosion magic, pretty much only able to be, using that, ultimate explosion magic, kind of like how, in, whatchamacallit, in Zero, or I don't know what her name is, pretty much Deku, Bakugo is able to use explosion magic, kind of like how his quirk works, but not exactly, pretty much making them able to instantly explode objects. So, pretty much, they start training, and Bakugo, is compatible with explosion magic, fire magic, and also compatible with, pretty much teleportation magic, giving him the ability to make red portals to take him anywhere he wants to or thinks of. So basically, Bakugo and Deku train over a couple of 10 months of them being the kings and getting a couple of situations, them fighting off a couple of guards, and them, doing some tricks around, the the castle. Pretty much, they don't really do anything that much. They're just kings, and they attend ceremonies and all other stuff. So basically, Deku and his brother get into pretty weird situations, and well, get a pretty good score. I mean, a pretty good, understanding of this castle, this, country. Now, Deku and his brother go on a hike one day, pretty much walking around the castle. They go on a hike, and they go into the jungle or the forest area of the city. They walk in there. Deku and his brother walk in there, and they see a couple other people there, and seeing that as a portal there. Seeing that Todoroki, Ochaku, and Froppy are there. They don't know who they are, but they do know that, they're not from here. Basically, they look at them and they explain, who are you guys? In this universe, Ida, Todoroki, Ochaku, and Froppy, because I just noticed Ida's right there. They all are, well, they all are descendants of this world, and their parents gave them, the ability to go into this world and out of this world. So basically, they went here, and now time moves a lot more, you know, slower in the world. So by the time they got here, the pretty much the USJ event already happened, and they were just here. Pretty much they explained to them that they were just here to visit for a couple of days because they were off school for a couple of days. And basically, you know, for a couple of days, let's say I don't know, they stay here for 2 days, and it's about 2 hours on Earth. And basically, time slows down and speeds up on this island or city or this, universe pretty weird and expectantly, and just changes weird. So basically, Deku and his brother, go hiking with these people, and they hike and hike and hike. Eventually come across a giant. Now this giant isn't really a giant, it's basically just something like um, like a Hulk type of giant, like a really big person. So Deku and Bakugo go into the forest, and pretty much they fight. They start fighting the giant. Deku using his fire magic, and Bakugo using his explosions, or not his explosion magic, just his fire magic. I mean, not using his explosion magic, using his explosions. Pretty much, throwing explosions, and Deku throwing whips of flames towards the giant. The giant gets upper hand and grabs Todoroki and Ida, but Ida does a super kick into the giant's elbow, making the giant let go of Ida, and Todoroki freezing the giant's arm, making the giant fall down to the ground, making his wrist fall down. And basically, Todoroki starts throwing balls of ice, and also freezing it solid before he can even get up on his pretty much feet. So they win, and pretty much Deku looks at it, and pretty much it breaks out of the ice, looking at Deku's eyes, noticing, and seeing that Deku has the royal eyes. That's why Bakugo has green eyes, because every royalty on this universe have glowing emerald green eyes that are specific to the royalty of this island. So of this city. So basically, it kneels down to Deku and Bakugo, and pretty much say my kings. Trying to mutter out those words. So Deku and Bakugo pretty much say you can go, and pretty much the giant runs off. So after that, Deku and Bakugo go back home, and Deku, goes on top of the, tippy top of the, castle, seeing that it's an open area where it's like magical grass and pretty much, sun. Deku sitting down, reading a book, and putting on some music, and, just jazzing out. So, Deku is a pretty good, chilling. So, Deku starts chilling out, and eventually Deku is interrupted by his brother. Deku is told by his brother that somebody has breached the, you know, city, and pretty much, when Azawa's doppelganger pretty much tells them to, stay back while all the rest of the guards, run up there, seeing that, pretty much, well, it's about 4 or 5 frost giants in the front of the castle, pretty much killing guards left and right. Deku uses a little bit of his fire magic, making a fire bow that can pretty much burn anything on impact, throwing it straight towards one of the frost giants, killing them. Now, basically, Deku's fire, I should explain this a little bit earlier, but Deku's fire is green, and Bakugo pretty much sprints off away from Deku, pretty much using a new trick that he did, pretty much jumping off of the area they were, and pretty much using explosions to fly. So Bakugo starts flying around straight to the, breach, on top of a frost giant, blowing its head off. So 2 more frost giants are left, and pretty much they throw a couple of, ice shards towards Bakugo. And Bakugo gets saved by Todoroki, because Todoroki does find a way to get into the castle, because Deku and Bakugo gave Froppy, Ochaku, Ida, and, basically, you know, the pass to get inside the royal, castle. Basically, they start throwing ice shards towards the frost giants, pretty much freezing them and, killing them. Now, basically, in this universe, Todoroki is actually half frost giant. That's why, because his mother is half frost giant. Now, has his mother actually has the frost giant markings on her body in blue, skin tone. So that's how, Deku, now that's how Todoroki is half frost giant. Now, Todoroki doesn't have those frost giant marks, but when Todoroki gets angry, his eyes turn yellow, and his ice powers become a lot more stronger. So basically, Todoroki starts shooting ice and shards of, ice, and pretty much, throwing a bunch of ice shards, pretty much stabbing some of the frost giants, pushing them away. Todoroki eventually, lets go a little bit, leaving a little bit of flames on his body, burning the frost giants, melting them. 1 more frost giant is left, and he starts running away. But Deku steps in, pretty much using some of his speed magic to catch up with the frost giant, using his probability to make the frost giant trip and crack its head or crack its neck as it falls. So basically, yeah. So Deku wins, and pretty much the castle is safe because the kings, well helped. So basically, Deku says that was pretty cool, and out of nowhere, an arrow hits Deku in the chest. Now, missing Deku's heart, pretty much hitting Deku in the chest, making Deku fall down to the ground. Bakugo runs towards Deku, saying that, "Are you okay?" Pretty much grabbing Deku by the head. And I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. So, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the What If. Part 2 will be coming Saturday. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys later. Bye. And as always, have a blessed day, guys. And before I go, guys, before you click off the video, guys, yeah, guys, so you guys should know by now, if you're an old subscriber, I am making my what ifs a lot more longer and checking my time so I can get my watch time up there. Because, guys, I really want you guys to watch my videos all the way to the end, so you guys, get my watch time up. But yeah, guys, so that's, as all guys, if all you guys, know it by now, half of my videos, I always say you guys can request or comment on any of my videos for a request what if or video that you guys want to see. Now, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys later. Bye. Deuces. Always have a blessed day.